Essentially, what you're going to do is your feet are apart and your right hand is inside the cross. So this is the cross. The right hand sits inside, and this is what I'm referring to when I say tuck that right hand inside the cross. At this point, you're down low, okay? As you elevate, the hands start to rotate on their wrists and come up, so that now both palms are facing you. So can we try that? So we said when we embrace the tiger or cross hands, we are down low, we're coming in so that the right hand is on the inside of the cross. We're coming up and we're rotating on our wrists so that by the time we're at our chest level, our palms are now facing us, okay? Again, down low, right hand inside the cross, start to rotate and elevate. Take a pause. With the energy and the core muscles, push out your hand. Now what happens naturally? The palms go down, and you then make yourself small. Hands go for the ride, and you wrap, then you close your form. Okay? So pretty simple, but make it nice. Don't be in a rush to say, wow, that's it, I'm finally done. Keep your composure. Composure is peacefulness, being patient, taking every little muscle into account. Do not rush it, okay? But make it synchronized, make it smooth, okay? So to get into that position, there's another series of sub-movements. Okay, so you're gonna watch first because you don't know what really I'm gonna be focusing on. So when we ward off on our right, we grasp the bird's tail, sit down, sit back, hands go for the ride. Hands go for the ride because the energy is pushing it out. And hands go for the ride because my body is sitting back and sitting down. My energy is extending, so my arms are extending. What I do on one side, I do on the other. So now left hand on the bottom, holding my ball, bringing it in. Out on an L, ward off, push him away, give me my space. I don't need a whole bunch of space, because if I have a whole bunch of space, he's gonna push me down. I just need to keep my Tai Chi posture and get my space by pushing him forcefully, turning my hips and waist and grasping the bird's tail. Hands go for the ride. It's not purely a hands motion. Then we're getting to the area where I want to teach. Rolling back. Spiraling forward. Sit back, sit down. Pivot, pivot, pivot in. Off the ground, tuck the right hand inside, elevate, rotate, palms facing me, push out. So that's the view that you would be doing it in. Okay, but now you realize, hey, I didn't see her hands. I need to get another view. So now I will face you, but do it on this side, I think. Last grasping of the bird's tail. Sit down, sit back, pivot, pivot, in, tuck the right hand inside. This is for balance. I come bring my feet in. I start to rotate. I start to elevate. Chest level, I'm done. I hold it for 1 second. I push out with the core muscles. My palms are now facing the ground. I drop my shoulders, I relax. My hands go for the ride. They do not lead my movement. And then I close my form. Okay? Any questions on that? All right, ready to try? Let's pause it a little bit and let's go for the grasping of the bird's tail, okay? Right hand on the bottom, right foot ready to go. Bring in your ball, bring in your arms. You do not see my arms like that. Bring it in. It's comfortable, it's more relaxed. You're going to ward off. Out on an L, push your opponent away. Give me my space. Turn the hips and waist. Grasp the bird's tail. Pull down, pull back. Look back. Turn, square, contact, push. Separate your arms and roll back. And spiral forward. Sit back, sit down. Pivot, left hand on the bottom to hold your ball on a T stance. Bring in those arms. Out on an L, move that ball. Push them away. Give me my space. Turn your hips and waist. Grasp the bird's tail. Pull down, pull back, look back. Turn, square contact, push. Shoulder width away and roll back. And spiral forward, slowly. Sit back, sit down. Pivot, hands go for the ride. Pivot, pivot in. Tuck the right hand inside the cross as you close your feet. Rotate as you elevate. Palms now facing you. Pause, push out. Palms facing the downwards. Drop your shoulders, make yourself small as you close your form. Okay, all right, ready to try? Let's pause it a little bit and let's go for the grasping of the bird's tail, okay? Right hand on the bottom, right foot ready to go. Bring in your ball, bring in your arms. You do not see my arms like that. Bring it in. It's comfortable, it's more relaxed. You're going to ward off. Out on an L, push your opponent away. Give me my space. Turn the hips and waist. Grasp the bird's tail. Pull down, pull back. Look back. Turn, square, contact, push. Separate your arms and roll back. And spiral forward. Sit back, sit down. Pivot, left hand on the bottom to hold your ball on a T stance. Bring in those arms. Out on an L, move that ball. Push them away. Give me my space. Turn your hips and waist. Grasp the bird's tail. Pull down, pull back, look back. Turn, square contact, push. Shoulder width away and roll back. And spiral forward, slowly. Sit back, sit down. Pivot, hands go for the ride. Pivot, pivot in. Tuck the right hand inside the cross as you close your feet. Rotate as you elevate. Palms now facing you. Pause, push out. Palms facing the downwards. Drop your shoulders, make yourself small as you close your form. Okay, so now, a good way of remembering what to do is that the hands mimic the feet. What do I mean by that? What do I mean when I say the hands mimic the feet? They follow the feet, or they are in line with the feet. For instance, push out for the last time. Sit back, sit down. Pivot. What did my hands do? They pivoted. When my foot pivoted, my hands came into that direction. When my other foot pivots, my hand goes out. When my foot goes in, my hand comes in. When I close my feet, my hands take that closure too. So the hands follow the feet. Okay? When I use the word hands and when I use the word feet, I do mean it, but I don't mean it that they're detached. I don't mean it that they're detached and moving by themselves. They're moving with the connection of the core and the mind, okay? So they're not separate entities when I say move your hand, move your feet. But out of expediency with delivery, it's a catch-all for me, okay? All right, let's practice what we just kind of learned and kind of saw, okay? Let's shorten it so we know our memory's not that good. So we're going to stay with the left and then apparently close, okay? Left hand on the bottom, right hand on the top, holding your ball. We're going into an L stance to ward off. Out on an L, push your opponent away. Give me my space. Turn your hips and waist. Grasp the bird's tail. Pull down, pull back, look back. Turn, square, contact, push. Separate, roll back. Make yourself small as you spiral forward. Sit down, sit back. Pivot, open, in. Tuck the right hand in as you close your form, your feet. Rotate, palms now facing. Pause, push out. Downward of the palms. Drop your shoulders, make yourself small. Hands go for the ride. Heel up, off the ground, toe down, heel down. One more time. This time you're going to put on a pair of mittens. How do you put on a pair of mittens? Do you put your mittens on like this? How do you, show me how you put on a pair of mittens. You separate your finger. So when we're in the closing form position, when you come up, wear those mittens. Do not show me you did not change it and you're wearing your gloves. So all you have to do is make sure that the four fingers are closer together as you come down, okay? Closer together, not tight in and not stiff, but relaxed away from the thumb rather than equally distanced away from the thumb, okay? All right, so you can try all of those things and make it really pretty. On a T-stance, holding your ball, you're going to ward off. Out on an L, push your opponent away. Give me my space. Turn your hips and waist. Grasp the bird's tail as you pull down, pull back, sit back. Turn, square contact, push. Separate, you can put your mittens on already. Roll back. And spiral forward. Sit back. Twist. Open, in, tuck the right hand in as you embrace the tiger. Rotating already so that both palms are facing as you stop at shoulder, chest level. Pause, push out. Wear your mittens. Obviously, put on those mittens that should have been put on from the beginning of commencing form, okay? But we're getting a little particular now because people are looking at finer details as you end your 10 movements. Okay? They're looking for every little detail.